Welcome to The Explainer. You've probably seen the term red pill floating around online, right? But what does it actually mean? And where did it even come from? Today, we're going to break down how a famous scene from a movie exploded into a massive online movement. So, it all starts right here, with this super famous line from the 1999 movie, The Matrix. The main character, Neo, has to make this huge choice that's going to change his life forever. He gets offered two pills, and each one leads to a totally different reality. So it really all comes down to this choice. You can take the blue pill and stay in a comfortable world that's basically a lie. Or you take the red pill and you get to see the truth. Even if that truth is harsh and difficult to accept, it's that classic question. Do you want blissful ignorance or do you want the painful truth? But okay, how does a cool idea from a movie jump off the screen and become this huge symbol for communities online? That's the real question. Let's dig into how it all got transformed. Well, the phrase got picked up by a bunch of online groups, but they weren't talking about science fiction. For these guys, taking the red pill meant waking up to a totally different and pretty controversial version of how the world works. And yeah, this new truth is a huge departure from what the movie was about. It's built around an anti-feminist ideology that says men are the ones who are actually facing disadvantages in our society today. This whole new red pill idea is basically the core belief for a whole network of websites, blogs, and online forums known as the manosphere. This is the digital space where these ideas get talked about, shared, and spread around. So, what do they actually believe? Well, here are some of the main points. People who follow this red pill philosophy generally think that modern feminism is bad for men and that the whole idea of male privilege is just a myth. Okay, so let's get into it. The manosphere isn't just one single group. It's actually made up of several different subgroups, and each one has its own slightly different focus. You've got men's rights activists, or MRAs, who are all about legal issues they see as unfair to men. Then you have pickup artists, or PUAs, who focus on using these ideas as seduction techniques. There's also MGTO, that's men going their own way, who argue that men should just completely separate themselves from women. And finally, you have incels, which stands for involuntary celibates. So while they all share a general anti-feminist view, they go about it in very different ways. This makes you wonder, right? What is the appeal here? And what are these online influencers doing to get and keep such a big following? You know, experts say this strategy is a lot like a classic protection racket. First, you create a big, scary threat, and then you turn around and sell the only protection from it. It's a pretty simple three-step process. First, you make your audience anxious by telling them that masculinity itself is under attack. Second, you present yourself as the only person who has the secret to fix it. And third, you make money off that solution by selling books, courses, or just getting a ton of views on your videos. And this diagram here shows exactly how it works. Researchers call it ontological racketeering. It sounds complicated, but it's not. An influencer creates a threat, then sells the protection. The audience buys in, which gives the influencer more resources and credibility. And what do they do with that? They use it to make the original threat seem even bigger, which just keeps the cycle going and going. But for some people, the red pill ideology actually doesn't go far enough. And this has led to a worldview that's even more extreme and a lot more hopeless. And that brings us to the black pill. It basically takes the red pill ideas but gets rid of any hope that you can improve your situation. The core idea here is that for some men, failure is just hardwired into their genetics and there's absolutely nothing they can do about it. So here's the key difference. The red pill view says, hey, you can learn the rules and you can win the game. But the black pill says, nope, the game is rigged from the very beginning, and for some people, it's just impossible to win. The central argument of the black pill is that physical appearance is the only thing that matters in life, especially when it comes to relationships. The belief is that if a man isn't born with conventional good looks, his fate is pretty much sealed. So, to wrap it all up, we've seen how a concept from a sci-fi movie was taken and turned into this really complex online ideology. We've traced it through all these different subcultures, and we've seen how it eventually led to an even more hopeless spin-off. So the next time you're online and you see someone mention taking the red pill, you'll understand the deep and complicated world that exists behind that simple phrase. What started in a movie has become a symbol for a reality that is very, very real to its followers.